Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Money and Mind. I'm Pitt.
And I'm Jamie, and I'm happy to introduce our special guest today, my friend and neighbor, Michelle Benedict. She's going to be sharing some of her own experiences and tips and tricks for budgeting and things like that. So today our topic is Know Your Money. We're going to basically be having a conversation about how we use our money, how we budget, how we save, how we invest, and how we spend. Today we're going to talk about something that doesn't always get a lot of attention when we talk about financial education, which is our behavior, hence the mind of our show. So basically, because knowing what you should do with your money doesn't always mean that you're going to actually do it. You know you should save. You know you should have some kind of emergency fund. You should always be thinking about retirement, and you should always, do a lot of things. But unfortunately, sometimes the money's gone before you even get a chance to. So that's why we're asking the bigger question. Why do we make the financial decisions that we make? And how can understanding ourselves help us make better choices?
Yep. So why know your money? Because knowing your money is about knowing your behavior. Think about the last time that you looked at your bank account and you're like, where did all my money go? And so that's the direction we want you to be thinking out there, like what is your behavior around money habits? Like you go out to eat and you go and buy a coffee, you purchase something online, you take a night out. And the collections of these little decisions, a coffee here and a takeout there subscription that you forgot, and it builds up and that behavior becomes a habit. So we would like to be able to talk about behavior so that we're trying to make it more conscious, like action around what we do. Yeah. And so in thinking about behavior, you're driven off by emotions. Like if you're stressed, you act one way. If you are bored, tired, celebrating, then it triggers another emotion. And so that's it. Like it's not that you can't spend and you can't go out and treat yourself. It's that you are you got to be aware of it.
Cognizant, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the mind behind the money. Our financial decisions are influenced so much by psychology, like Pet was saying. Our emotions, the environment, experience, even the people around us affect how we spend our money. So understanding those influences can really help change your behavior, because you can't change a behavior if you don't recognize it. I mean, that's just something that is well known. So like, say for instance, you have a stressful day at work. That's a cue. So instead, you order takeout from a restaurant instead of cooking, and that's the behavior. And you feel relief because you didn't have to cook, and that's the reward. So with that, it's, instead of doing something like that, you need to be like, what am I trying to meet? Is it convenience? Do I need rest? Maybe it's just comfort. But then ask, is there a different way where I can meet that need? So awareness really does create the choice. Money is emotional. We spend completely differently when we're happy versus stressed or sad. We spend to reward ourselves. I mean, I know I do, but then I feel guilty after. But yeah, there's a lot of different things. And I know definitely being around people, you can spend a different...
Yes, social comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of influences why we spend and we act the way we do around money. And it's not right or wrong, it's really about awareness. So are you comparing yourself to what other people have when you're looking on social media, or you are around friends, and are you spending based on your values, based on your future planning? And then also what they call lifestyle inflation, which is like you get a raise. And I'm guilty of this all the time. Every time I get a raise,
Yeah.
I bring my kids out to eat.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's called like lifestyle inflation. But is it something that you can put away now that you have extra money, $10, $12, even like $25, it's whatever you have just to put into your future. And so, yeah, there's a lot of psychology and involved in the spending and also bias too. And so that's something that what they call present bias is where you're not thinking about the future because it's not something that's really real yet. And so that's important to be able to really look into what is your present bias. You really need that pocketbook when you have 4, pocketbooks. And so like could that pocketbook go towards like your future, your present retirements? And yeah, so I think that's what we're excited about. Like we really want to tie the behavior, the psychology to how you're acting now and be more discussing later on the planning.
Right. And I mean, with that being said, they have done like studies before where they offer kids like, I can give you $10 now, but tomorrow I could give you 20. And they want that present bias is I want that instant gratification, the instant reward, give me the $10 now. Mm-hmm. And I think most of us would kind of be the same way, but the big thing is waiting is when your money's growing and you get more. So why not wait?
In that study too, it's like those who can wait more, they have more money. That like they are actually able to compare it to the impulse and then the long-term, savings.
Right, exactly. Well, and then, the section I'm going to go into is we're going to talk about spending and eventually talk about budgeting. I'm not talking about that yet. The goal is not to discover that you're good or bad with money. It's really to just know the truth about your own money and how you are influenced and how you use it. I mean, the math tells us what you need, but the behavior determines what you actually do. Mm-hmm. So I can budget all day long and be like, okay, this is this, and this, and then, oh, I went out and I got coffee at Dunkin'. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did this. And then it just adds up, but that wasn't part of my original budget. So you can see how things fall apart. So before we can actually build a budget, what we need to do is understanding what most budgeting programs don't ask, which is figure out why you spend. And so I guess a question for everybody, and you at home, if you want to answer and participate, is like, what causes your worst spending habits? Is it stress, anxiety, shopping for others, sales or discounts, the social pressure just because you're bored, convenience, or like, I deserve it? Like, hey, I haven't had a night off in a while. I want to go and do something with my girls, and I'm going to go out and have a drink or two, or I mean, I don't drink, but, whatever, go and celebrate somehow. But it's not what your honest answer is, not what you think you should be saying, but it's not a character flaw. It's just information for yourself.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think that priority changes through your age, because when I was younger, definitely it was like social influence. It was my friends, and always went to the mall, went shopping, and it was like pushed by hanging out. Now it's like, it definitely is stress and anxiety. The older I get, because more responsibilities, that you look after people. So, yeah, that's always a good question to ask yourself, like, because it makes you slow down.
Yeah. Michelle, do you know which one you are?
Honestly, I really don't when I am stressed or anxious. It's really not when I spend.
No.
Isn't that weird for me? Like, you know me.
I do.
That one's a weird one. I definitely shop for other people. And the social pressure or boredom for me. Like, you were like,
you do the doom scrolling.
What's this package? And I'm like, 4 a.m. scroll, like, easy.
And the Amazon scroll, yeah, definitely.
The TikToks, the Facebook Reel advertisements, yeah, that's unfortunately, those are the higher ones for me.
Yeah, and I mean, the biggest thing is like once you can identify the trigger, then you can interrupt the pattern. Mm-hmm. If you're stressed and it leads to shopping, do a different response to stress. Like
Yes.
what we were talking about, go for a walk.
Yep.
So if you're like, oh my God, I'm stressed, can we just go out shopping? No, let's just go for a walk.
Well, then it's up to you at that point, because like if you know that it's something's triggering you, then like you're aware of it, then it's up to you to really be like, am I really putting solution to my problem, or am I not? You know what I mean? So you can look at yourself and just like honestly work with it or not. But it's helped me a lot, just to be like, okay, all right, I don't really need to buy a drink, or I really don't need to go out with, like, take my kids, go out, you know what I mean? It's just like, let me spend some other quality time with myself and with them that is like creative and more like experiential.
Yeah,
so
which that's one
so
thing
there's
that I know
always
Michelle
a solution
does.
to it. It doesn't mean like you lose it, but at least you can like, work it out within yourself and means. And if you really want to improve your financial like planning, then it's like definitely a good tool.
I mean, it really is. I'm just understanding it. But I know, like, Michelle, you offer experiences versus, like, physical things, which I feel like is so much, there's more to it. Like, you're building memories. It's not like
It's
a toy
the
that
rainy
they're...
day fund.
Yes.
You're contributing to our rainy day fund. Like, it's raining out. He can't go out and play football. He can't go out and play baseball. I'll take you to Echo. I'll take you to Get Air. We've got a gift card for spare time. Let's go. Like, that is a big, big help. And picking up a gift card for those kinds of things once in a while is a benefit, or gifting and receiving those things are benefits.
Yeah. And I mean, the goal isn't to eliminate enjoyment. It's just to make spending intentional. So you're intentionally not buying that toy that he's never going to play with again. Like, you're putting money aside for when it is a rainy day. And it doesn't, I mean, it's Vermont, so I don't know. But, it doesn't happen all the time. But anyway, there's strategies that do help make impulse spending a lot harder. Like, you can't completely rely on willpower. You have to change the environment, and it's called like friction engineering, where like you delete that saved credit card, Michelle.
Call me out, why don't you?
No.
No, I need to put my phone elsewhere so I don't wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and start scrolling.
Yeah, that works too. The extra 30 seconds of not having that instant pay with Google or whatever it is enough to interrupt an impulse.
That's where I deleted all my social media notifications.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that. So little things that break that habit.
Yeah.
Is like it's really key to like recognize and then also implement.
Right. Well, and there's also the 48-hour rule. I mean, I know some people know it as the 24-hour rule, but either way, it's basically like not so much a necessity item, but something you want that's a higher value. You don't get it right there and then. You wait. You wait the 24 hours. You wait that 48 hours. Do you still want it? Or was it just like, yeah, I could use it? And then that also helps a lot. I find myself doing that a lot more than I used to.
Save for later section of the Amazon cart, and you just grab one every time and put it right in.
Right. And then the other way to make spending harder, which Michelle caught me onto, there's like an app that you can use. I don't know if the app costs money, so I'm not saying spend money on an app. Is convert price to hours of work. Basically, how much does it cost? $200? Okay, how many hours, I make $20 an hour. How many hours of work do I have to do to afford that? And is it really worth 10 hours of my life to
purchase this one item that
$200
you may or may not
Yeah,
need.
and so it's a really powerful question when you start thinking about things like that, because it makes it more tangible. It's not, I'm just going to buy it, whatever. No, it's put it into you going to work. Like, I have to work 40, I'm working 40 hours a week, so 10 of those hours are for $200. Like, it's not, sometimes it's not worth it.
Think
Sometimes
about it
is.
when you get your first job. Minimum wage, you want to go buy lunch. How many hours did you just work when you only work 3-hour shifts at a time
Yeah.
to pay for your lunch? Like, to put that into perspective for the younger kiddos
Yeah, that's
that need
good.
to understand such things.
Yes, the younger kids do need to understand, like, that $20 for Robux, whatever you know it is, you know, that they want every week. You know, mommy has to work so many hours to get you that
Yep.
little card that takes you 2 seconds to, you know,
Disappear
spend. But that's definitely the ways to make spending harder. But I think also another part of our behavior is understanding the financial personalities. And there is like 4 specific ones that I had found. And I was like, oh, huh, these are interesting. So there's one that's called the ostrich, the martyr, the status seeker, and the hoarder. So those are like the 4 main financial personalities that you could be. You're not tied to one. You can definitely see yourself leaning more towards one. There's also people that see themselves in all 4. But understanding those specific traits and ways to overcome them, it sometimes can help as well. So basically, like the ostrich is avoids the banking account, avoids everything, but that doesn't help with your financial picture overall. Like, you're just ignoring it, and then it's going to blow up in your face. I personally have been the ostrich previously, where I never wanted to, and I did it with my bills too. I never wanted to open them. I didn't want to look. It's like,
I never checked the mail. The bills were in the mail. I didn't check the mail, and it got bad.
yeah, exactly.
And we changed that behavior, and we move forward.
Yep.
It's possible.
It is possible. Sometimes it takes a little bit more work, but you know, it's just, so that's like the ostrich. There's small things. It's like, maybe just look at one of the accounts. Just look at it. Don't do anything with it. Just be like, okay, I see it. Like, don't overwhelm yourself, but, you know, get to a point where you can actually look at it, not avoid it completely. Or open one bill a day. I mean, that's like an extreme scenario, but, you know, there's a lot of people out there, and I myself included, and Michelle even said she'd done it before too.
Yeah, I think we're all in the same boat.
Yeah. You know, especially after college, and you're like, oh, I got to pay my student loans on top of, and I don't have rent free because I'm not living with my parents anymore. It's like all of a sudden you get a pile of bills on you, and you're not used to it, especially, and we talked about this before, it's not taught in schools. So they don't know what they're getting themselves into probably until later in life, college.
We're also such a consumer, you know, like society too. So it's hard. There's so much influence around you, and kids also have like access to more things than we do. You know, when it comes to exposure. So
everything costs more for kids too. It's crazy. It's like you know, something that was like $20 back in the day was the best thing ever, and now kids for Christmas or you know, their birthday want something that's $250, and it's just not really.
I showed the teenager Double Dare from the 90s, and he was like, why are they losing their mind over $20, Mom? And I was like, because it was a big deal back then. That did a lot more than just the ticket to see the movie. That was the popcorn and the drink. That was everything.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. And then the martyr. The martyr is somebody who spends on everybody else. I am definitely one of these people. I am working on it.
One of those people.
I'm working on it with the help of Michelle. She has been like, I don't need that. Don't get that for me.
Just saying it made you think of me is enough.
Yeah. I mean,
And then I can say, I want it, I'll get it for myself. And then it's my problem, not yours.
Right. I mean, I like to spoil the people I love. I love giving them things. But I now have understood that if I make things, if it's more crafty, it's made from the heart, those are much more meaningful than, you know, that $20 thing. I could take a picture of it and be like, hey, look at this cat funny thing I was going to get you, and, you know, like these cat socks. I think I sent you a picture once before.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not spending $14 on a pair of socks. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I mean,
For someone who doesn't wear socks.
you don't wear
Flip-flops.
And that's where, I mean, you got to be careful, because then you're just you're playing into the societal like consumerism, because then you're just buying just to buy something. Be like, they have to have a gift, you know. And so I like the whole experiential, because that's something that you could do as a family together.
Yeah.
I like making now that I'm older, like I like to make a lot of things for my family, you know, like jams and some like paintings or something like that, you know, like.
100%.
I also, one thing that I do, which I'm probably continue to do more, is like, is have them be like donations to places.
Oh,
then I'm
yes.
like, you just donated to a food bank, or you just donated to like, you know, a shelter, and you know, it also it makes it where it's meaningful. But I'm not saying like just be a cheese ball and
But
like
it's not something taking up space
but
in your
yes,
house.
like you
Right.
then you could talk about it, you can learn together. But yeah, I mean, like everything that we do is around consuming, and so especially around the holidays, like, you know, because I'm guilty of just being like, oh, just grab this off the shelf, and as long as you
Yeah.
get a gift, you know.
Right. I mean, so with me, I didn't ever have enough money to buy at Christmas time. I bought for like one gift for certain people, and it wasn't a lot at all. I made gifts, but then there was the time where I was like, you know what, I have the money. And then I specifically chose to spend that money on everybody. And they're like, oh, you didn't need to. And I'm like, you know what, I haven't done this for years, and you guys buy stuff for me all the time, which also the guilt of that. It's like somebody buys something for you and you feel like you need to do something for them. But that's a me problem. That's not like.
So that's what's really nice about places like Ladybug Creative or Burlington Paint and Sip, because there's only so much room on the walls. There's only so much room in the shelves to put the pretty little pottery things that you decorate. So like go in, do the activity yourself, and you're still buying a gift for somebody else.
Right, which we just did on vacation. Instead of, we went to this house of candles, and it was beautiful. And my husband's like, yeah, let's just get a candle. And I was like, well, there's actually an experience where our son can make the candle himself and do like the twisty little weird thingamabobbers with it. And it's the same price, but he gets the experience of making his own candle. And it's from the heart. He got to pick his colors. It was really cool.
Love the candle.
But yeah, it's, and then the status seeker, which, I mean, they may not actually want the item, but they want what it represents. Like, and I have seen this a lot with people. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's society teaches us, okay, well, we have a car. Oh, we have more money, let's get the better car, or the bigger and better car, or the better model. It's just, or you see somebody that gets, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of things off the back of my head. I'm just like, you know, you see somebody that is going on an expensive cruise and you're like, oh, I want to do that with my family. I look at it and I'm like, okay, it's $5,000 to go on the cruise. I'm terrified of boats sometimes. That's needless to say.
make it bigger.
But I'd be stuck on the boat, not experiencing, I mean, I'm sure, I'm not going to knock it till I try it. But I'd rather spend like $1,000 on something that's closer to home, and we get to do more things. A Rolex watch. I mean, a watch is a watch to me, but you know, to others, you know, it's
Symbolizes
it
more.
symbolizes something. Like if you're at we're not in New York City, but like a high-end like company, and you're wearing, I don't know, Walmart watch versus like somebody that's up at like the CEO wearing a, you know, a nice Rolex or something. It's something to, a goal to have, but you don't want those kind of goals. You want to put that money towards.
But it is nice to have a Rolex.
I mean,
you know, like I'm into quality too. Where if I was to buy it like from a manufacturer, you know, it could break, then you end up spending more. So you got to be careful about that too. You know, about
Those dupes.
those products that is just like fast fashion, for example, like,
Right.
you know, is talked about now, where it falls apart after a couple washes, you know, and then you end up spending like $100 more on a cardigan, you know,
Yeah.
because you're constantly buying it over and over again.
I mean, that definitely helps with the quality. And I've learned that actually from my husband, where he's like, no, we need to buy this type because it will last longer.
Yep.
Versus buying, you know, the $20 shoes at Walmart or
repeat.
something. And then you keep buying them versus the one pair that's going to cost you $100 in the foreseeable future, it will last longer.
I am having the hardest time with that personally, because my 14-year-old is in a size 12. And I am not going to go spend $100 on a pair of shoes he flies through in 3 months, but that could be because they're Walmart shoes.
Yeah.
But he's still growing. I ain't doing it.
That's where you just have to be like intentional of like, where's my money gonna go? That's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
worth it, you know?
Right, exactly. I mean, and being intentional, that's a huge thing. And like knowing the behavior, like you know why. The hoarder is the personality that like fears prevents them from enjoying their money and reaching their goals because they don't want to lose it. But not using it is also losing it, technically. But you have no enjoyment either. So, I mean, kind of you can be more than one, and at different times of the year. The ostrich at tax time, you don't want to look at that tax, like if you owe taxes, you don't want to look at it. Or the martyr during the holidays, which we were talking about, like Christmas time and, you know, birthdays, celebrations like that. Status seeker, when you see your friend buying a new car. We actually just had this experience. A lot of new experiences, you know, and so on. So knowing your personality shows why you spend the money the way you do. And it also shows you, well, instead of saving but a budget provides like a practical tool to help those habits and get your goals, basically get to your goals. Moving from more of a mindset to something that's more of a natural tendency. And then you need to have like a clear plan. So there's no single perfect budgeting system. I'm sure that a lot of you have tried many different strategies. The main ones are like the traditional sense of budgeting, where it's you have this is your money at the end of the month. It rolls over to the next month. It's like a rolling budget with how much money you have, but you have to track it, and it's time consuming and everything like that. But then there's like the zero-based budgeting, where you're basically like, this is how much money I have at the beginning of the month, and I am gonna go till I hit zero. So you spend everything on, you know, whether it be your savings or your debt management, any type of utility bills, things like that, different categories. There's proportional, which is, a lot of us know it as the 50-30-20 rule. So 50% is going to, you know, your needs, the wants, and your savings. But there can, obviously, different people you don't have to always do the 50-30-20. Some people do like, my math's gonna be horrible, like 60-40, 60-30-10 or something, you know? And then there's the envelope system, which I actually just started using. Not in the traditional sense of the envelope system where you have cash and you stick it in an envelope and you're like, okay, this is for my utilities, this one's for my rent, this one's for this and this and this, because we are becoming so much more of a digital society. Banking accounts are allowing us to do that digitally with like bucket systems, which I know Michelle she's the one that introduced me to it through Eastrise, and you know.
It's been very, very proactive for me. It's helped me become less of an ostrich.
Less of an ostrich. I love it. So basically, how does it work in sense of it being an envelope system or a bucket system? I think is.
So I have the checking account. That's where my paycheck goes. I'm paid on Fridays. Every Saturday, my bills, I divided everything into the 4 weeks, because most months have the 4 Fridays. And it takes a quarter of each upcoming bill. So 1 week of rent, 1 week of electric, 1 week of student loans, 1 week of gas. All of it goes into the separate accounts.
Right.
I have one specific for rent. So then on the first of the month, it pulls from there, and like, I know it's there.
Yeah.
I know it's there. I don't have to stress it. It has been a very, very long road to actually be paying on the first of the month instead of by the end of the month for me personally. And so that one, and then I have my bill account, my gas, my electric, my student loans. My car payment gets pulled to the other branch that actually holds my car loan.
Right.
Also in the quarter week or quarter month payments, and then is pulled when it's actually due. Because one annoying thing I've discovered is, and Jamie helps me with this part, the way that the interest works. I hate interest, drives me nuts. It does me no good to get towards my goal, and I feel so frustrated that every time I'm like, I paid my bill, I paid $30 over, and there's still $15 I owe toward interest, and it's not mathing for me.
I mean,
so
it's true.
even though I pay, and I was doing like VSAC, two $50 payments a month when my payment monthly is $70. So you're thinking, cool, I'm paying $30 extra, and it's not applying it properly.
Yeah.
So I ate a lot of interest over the last few years because that's how my brain understood all of that.
Right.
And so it just gets pulled from my bill account, but I'm paying it out of my checking and my paycheck, and then it's being taken as a whole and more toward keeping that interest low, but I still can't figure it out.
Yeah, no, like
Compounding interest is-
it's so weird. It's like you have to be on top of all the hidden like fees, and sometimes scheduling also is like it triggers another fee because you don't have it timed right with their.
She helped me. I paid off a couch, and then a month later, I got a bill for like $5, and I was like, I don't understand. We paid it off.
Yep.
She was like, well, you must have accumulated some interest, and then I got another one. I was like, Jamie, help me.
You know, the in between, because it's like accruing daily sometimes.
So even though we paid 5 days after the bill, like it was like, no, you still owe.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
That's the fine,
fine print.
details that you have to work out. But I would imagine that you feel so much more relief. Like I know, like when I was
absolutely.
like paying, I wasn't into automatic, withdrawals at first. But now that I am, it's so much more less stress because then you have to remember. You're like, oh, am I supposed to can I schedule it on this time? Then you move it. Because you're like, okay, so it's like it's almost setting a non-negotiable, you have to work with this.
Yep.
And-
Yeah, the money has to be there. Yeah, I haven't used, I never used to use automatic payments. I used to be so scared of them because I was like, what if the money's not there? And by separating it out and being like, okay, well, part of your paycheck's going here, part of it's going here. I have a whole new banking account at a different bank, out of sight, out of mind for all the fun, other bills that I have. But I think that the buckets, the envelopes work for me personally, but anything, it depends on how you are. I mean, I was talking to a coworker today and he was like, yeah, my fiance and I, we tracked our spending for 6 months to see like where we were at and like how things worked. I'm like, wow, you must have, like you definitely, he's like, yeah, it didn't really work the way we thought it would, but it's one of those things. But a budget's not a punishment. Like you can still
Enjoy life.
Yeah, you can still enjoy it. Just set it aside. It's a plan. Like you can't. It's harder to go through life without like a financial plan because you're gonna wind up like. I think I said this in the first episode. I worked 14 years without having a 401k. I didn't know anything about it, so I have no savings. So now I'm like,
Scrambling to catch up and
to play
plan.
catch up. But the compounding interest, we haven't talked about it yet, but it works both ways. So when those certain bills, like you want to pay them ahead of time. You want to pay them before you get the bill because the interest is accruing like so many
While
days
it's in the
after.
mail.
Yeah, basically why it's in the mail
Yeah.
for snail mail, But it's not about a perfect budget. It's just about a sustainable one. So like accounting for maybe the coffee you are going out to do, or don't do the coffee. Save that extra $7 and put it towards something else, and then find out at the end of the month if you didn't buy coffee $7
A day?
Yeah,
5 days
a
a
day,
week?
5 days a week.
Yep,
Like
that's
you,
35 right there.
yeah, that's quite a bit of money. Like what else could you do?
Right.
You could take that money, and I can't do brain math and talk at the same time, so I'm not going to tell you the total. You guys can calculate that yourself. But take, for instance, that amount of money that you saved on coffee and put it into a savings account, or, well, not necessarily, like different investment type things that you can do, and use the compounding interest in your favor versus how it would be the opposite way, to see how fast your money grows. And you'd be surprised, and that's where, you know, you go back to the behavior of wanting that instant gratification, that instant reward, the present bias. No, we need to look at the future. So savings for that.
And that's where the present bias, yeah, definitely, it goes into the next section, which is long-term, and paying yourself, and how that like equates to budgeting.
Yep, because paying yourself first is one of the budgeting strategies. So.
Yeah, I mean, like you can use it as like emergency fund, you know, like you're paying yourself, or you could use it for like that trip you want. So pay yourself first. Yeah, I think that overall, it's really about setting a goal. Like all the budgets, it's about setting a goal. And I like that the bucket system, because I've used it a lot on my kids, and I mean, I combine a bunch of different strategies, but basically they're like strategies for you to decide what works for you. And every time that I like start a new budget for each month, and I look at like my entertainment, you know, and so it's not like, again, we're not trying to say you can't have fun, but like you're understanding like the means that you have to work with, so you're not totally like derail yourself because like, you know, it's something that you're not keeping account for. But anything else you want to say about budgeting, or?
I mean, no. I mean, Michelle knows this, that I've had personal issues, to my husband that's in the audience right now. Like every Friday going out to eat versus cooking is, you know, that adds up. So it's one of those things. You just recognize it, knowing yourself, and then just maybe accommodating. Maybe it's not every Friday. I mean, it doesn't have to be a huge thing.
Or you could look at other parts of your budget and shave off. You know, maybe it's, you know, there's like a fee somewhere. Like I just looked over my subscriptions. Yeah, and I like canceled. I'm like, why do I still have?
Amen.
I even like canceled some of my like entertainment subscriptions. You know, subscriptions.
I don't have cable anymore. That was one thing. We had like a Dish Network, and that was so expensive. So I completely got rid of that. And then we paid for Netflix. And my husband's like, football season's coming up. I want to watch my news. I want to watch football. So instead of like, I was looking into it, like YouTube TV is like $80 a month. It
used to be $60. It went up.
It went up. It's crazy. So I actually just looked at it. I'm like, okay, I can go and buy an antenna for $40, one-time fee, and I can get all the local stations and most of the football games. So I might as well do that rather than paying a monthly fee. I got my, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I canceled most of my like TV subscriptions. I can't say that word.
Subscriptions.
Sorry.
It's
subscriptions. Because there's nobody but me. The kids like all are grown, you know, and I'm just like, why do I have Netflix, Hulu, like Apple TV? And
it's a lot of them. And I have that battle with myself because I watch certain shows on certain platforms, and my kids like certain platforms, so it gets really difficult. I actually made a spreadsheet earlier this year to start this process, and you know, I have the non-negotiables being rent, gas, electric, things like that. And then I have my subscriptions. So yes, I have like Hulu, HBO, Disney, whatever. But like there are some that are non-negotiable for me. So like my Kindle subscription is a non-negotiable. That is not going anywhere.
And that's your enjoyment.
Bye-bye Amazon Prime.
My Spotify.
That's also a non-negotiable in my household.
Yeah. So so if we're ready, let's go into long-term planning.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So the next section is going to be about long-term, and starting off with pay yourself first is like a form of budgeting, but also is a form of long-term strategy too, because you are paying yourself so that you could achieve the goal that you want. And so this is something that Jamie had talked about, how you can use it to build compound interest. And so with all like the interest rates we get from bills and all that, think about using that to pay yourself and then grow your money. You know, so that dollar that we were talking about can stretch to $3, and that $3 can compound to $6 and so on. So that's basically what compound interest is money growing, and it's passive income. So who doesn't like passive income? Whether you could just like
Set it and forget
set
it.
it and forget it.
Yep.
Yep. And yeah, it's like once you learn about strategies of compound interest, then you will be building your own like wealth. And here are some tools that around finances, financial industry that we just want to go over with you. And so everybody is aware of like savings and banks, right? Like that's our most familiar one. And
Yeah, the savings you're earning like 0.02% on whatever.
yep.
Gotta fix my accounts.
Yes, we will fix your accounts.
One step at a time.
And you know, and there's also CDs,
Yep.
certificates of deposit, which a lot of people use. They like them. They're a lower interest rate, usually between like 3 and 5%, depending on prime and all that
Yeah.
other jazz. The government, you know, that all
The
adjusts
rates.
it.
Yes.
Yep, but there's a penalty too. You know, if you take it out before it has accrued, you don't get to touch it. Like you basically get charged.
Not done cooking.
Yeah, it's not done cooking. There we go. I like that.
I think most of the long terms, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think most of the long term have penalties. And it's the point of it is like it's saving for retirement, it's saving for, so it's all tied still into the regulations
Yep.
of things. And the people do like banking. We're most familiar with it because it's accessible still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could still go and get your money, but you are going to be penalized. And it's not as like CDs, you can do them for shorter times, like 5,
Yeah.
10 years and stuff. But
6 months.
Yep.
In 90
Oh, okay.
days, you can really do them shorter. I mean, if you're, that's also a trick that you could use too. I used to work at a bank, but if you're trying to learn how to save and you are worried about the long term, start with a smaller goal,
Yep.
like 90 days. And then maybe build yourself up to, 3 months, 4 months, and go from there. But that's just one of the many strategies to earn, to save money and earn compound interest.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I love that banks have really helped with people with budgeting, and so all of this is like there's resources everywhere, that do help out around budgeting, the automatic features.
payments.
Yeah, just like it's such a good feature, and also you're having a ledger. I mean, you can see the record itself.
Have you ever printed one of those statements after a month
I
of
know.
actually spending a little bit too much?
I mean,
it's like 20
yeah.
pages and you're like embarrassed at the bank. You're like, ooh.
I do try to audit myself, though. I mean, it's nice to be able to get the statement, and I do try to sit down and highlight, based on the buckets.
Yep.
And so you can see that exactly your behavior that way.
Oh, yeah, like if you do it, all the spending in red, and then
Like a
Right.
family night in my household
we should
soon.
so do that.
We are so gonna sit down with my bank account boys and a big highlighter.
Yep, this is all you spent.
This is what
So
you
I'm
asked
taking it
for.
out of your account and putting it back into mine. That's one of those things. They learn easy, or learn young, I guess.
I'm trying to break the cycle.
Yeah.
I was not well enough educated growing up, so I want to
Yeah.
teach them better.
Yeah, no, I mean, I started my kids on banking, opened up an account for them, a credit union. I don't, knocking other institutions, but I want to stay local, and I want
Yep.
to feel like I have a investment in that, and I think that's really important to teach the girls, my kids, and they have been connected to their own finances. Even my daughter, when she was younger, she was selling bottles just to put it in. So just learning that lesson.
Yep.
So so that is one tool, and we are going to go into quickly because we have 15 minutes left, and in retirement accounts. So you have like, you know, where employer-based, it's 4143, and that basically is like the employer helping you save, and they also sometimes contribute in that. We also have personal retirement accounts, IRAs, and those are individual accounts so that you are, you know, like having to put in your own type, and then we have we have other compounding ones that is stocks and investments. So that's where you own a share of companies, and then you also are putting into like bonds and mutual funds in that. So it's more of holding on to collections of investments. And then I will go on to the next, which is life insurance, what Jamie and I do. We're both like licensed in that. And so this is like basically for protecting your financial protection. So, you know, like if anything happens to you or whoever is insured, then your earnings are protected. And there are different types of life insurance. We have the permanent, and we also have the term, which is not, it's basically you're renting insurance. And some policies do have a cash value that you can grow it. And
Yes.
so it can be, it can also be useful for a retirement.
Right.
But
Like Michelle, she actually has,
I'm one of your clients.
yes, she is one of my clients, and so are her kids, and they are slowly earning money that they obviously don't know about, but now they
Yeah.
do. You know,
Not paying attention,
instead
it's
of,
fine.
you know, and it earns. It's nice. It's out of sight, out of mind, and you can borrow from yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
I'm glad to have someone that understands it because I don't. So I'm like, am I good?
No.
Am I still good?
So all of these are like not, they don't have to be alone, you know, like you don't have to be like, I just need life insurance or I just need 401k. They're tools for you to be able to think and plan out your money long term.
Yes.
And I think that definitely we are licensed in life insurance, and the other ones, they have other professionals that have to go through licensing themselves. So
Right.
definitely seek advice from a consultant in these fields, because
Yes.
there are a lot of risk in
Yes.
some of them, you know, and if you don't know, then you could be choosing the wrong plan or using the wrong strategy. So
Yeah. I mean, let's bring it back to behavior. Like a lot of people often describe themselves like in financial terms. And I used to say this, I'm bad with money. I'm a spender. I don't invest. I'm not an investor. I'm never going to be able to save. Those are the statements that become our identities, and we kind of need to break that cycle. Instead of saying those certain things, we need to change the language somehow. Instead of saying like I'm bad with money, say I'm learning how to manage my money better. Or I can't save. I'm learning how to make savings a part of my life and a part of my, you know, budget. Those small behavioral changes and how we think about ourselves really do help support the change in what we do and how we're spending.
yeah, yeah, no. So we're going to end it with a challenge. So basically, look at your expenses throughout the month, and just like pay attention to how you spend. Write it down. I did this, and it's really helpful to just like, you know, see what habits you have and to know your money. So I would say ask these questions and ask yourself, what did you learn? You know, like look at what comes in, what goes out. Don't judge yourself.
Just for
yourself some
awareness.
grace.
Yep.
Yeah, give yourself some grace. Exactly, Michelle.
See what surprised you, what patterns did you notice, and reflect if it's your values. You know, like, and so then the important question is, what's one thing that you could do to change? That's all. You know, like you don't have to keep up this 30-day writing, but it is pretty cool to see how your behavior like ties into it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, financial confidence isn't it's isn't created by knowing everything. It's created by like the willingness to learn. It's created by paying attention to your budget or what you're spending. It's by making intentional choices and developing the habits or changing your habit and giving your money a purpose. Like we need to have a goal. We need, so know your money and know your habits, know your why, and know your options. So thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is like exciting that this is the second
episode
show for us. Stay tuned for more. We do have the scam topic coming up, so we look forward to seeing you then.
We have fraud awareness coming up, and then we're going to be doing one around child, or what were you? I'm trying to remember.
Well, stay tuned.
I don't remember what it's called. We'll
figure it out.
Thank you, Michelle, for coming in.
Yes, thank you so much
Thanks
for
having
coming
me.
in.
You guys are great.
Thank you.